So a lot of scientists these days are coming to the conclusion that the multiverse is real. All right. This whole theory of there being infinite alternate parallel realities, alternate dimensions where different things happen than what happened in our reality, our timeline, our dimension. It's true. All right. And there are multiple, infinite, multiple parallel realities that exist right now as we speak. All right. And I'm about to tell you about the multiverse and how that relates to Judgment Day and what really happened in the year 1999 and all these alternate year 2000s that have spawned since 1999 and what that has to do with the end of the world and what happened in the year 2012 and 2011 and what it all has to do with the Mandela effect. All right, a lot of you know about the Mandela effect. Well, guess what? It has to do with what I'm about to tell you right now. All right, so you have to understand that every second of our lives, there are new parallel realities being created every second. Every time, every second of your life, you are creating a new reality. And as a matter of fact, there is a divergence in the multiverse every time an individual is conceived. As soon as an individual starts to be um, starts growing inside their mother's womb, the multiverse fractures in a divergence point infinitely into infinite new parallel realities every time someone is conceived. And from the second they are born, new infinite parallel realities come out of that as well. So you have infinite other versions of you. Okay? So there are all these other versions of you that have the same DNA and the same soul, but they are different people because they have lived different lives, all right, and had different memories. So, you see, every second you're making choices. Every second you're making a choice. Whether you are aware of it or not, every second you are making a choice. And there are infinite parallel alternate realities where perhaps you made different choices than the ones you are making in this reality right now. Okay? And that results in different versions of you that are slightly different than you to different versions of you that are drastically different than you are in this timeline. Okay? And every second of your life, infinite new alternate realities pop up because of this, because of the choices you are making and the choices everyone around you is making. Everyone in this reality is making. Those choices affect you, and your choices affect them, and all of those choices affect reality. All right? And your timeline that you share with everyone else, that is a distinct timeline. That is a distinct timeline. And there are other timelines where everyone has made different choices. There's infinite amounts of parallel realities, okay? It means there's no end to them. They're always being created all throughout history. Alternate parallel realities. And there are neighboring realities. Neighboring realities are where everything is almost exactly the same as the reality next to it, except there's only a few things that are different. All right. So there are these neighboring realities, and the farther you divert, the farther you get away from those neighboring realities, the more different those choices made in those realities are. Okay. So um in these realities, the other versions of you can be completely different than the version of you watching this video right now. Okay? These other versions of you could be married to other people and have different children right now and have different careers and different memories and different friends and different events that have happened to them in their lives. But they have the same DNA and the same soul as you. But they've lived all these different lives than you have. Okay? There's so many alternate versions of you. And someday in the kingdom of heaven, you will be able to get to meet the other versions of you and learn their history and what happened to them in their lives. So that's something to look forward to. But in some of these realities, you are happier than in other realities. Okay? Because in these other realities, these other versions of you have learned different lessons than you have. So you may have learned certain lessons based on the events that have happened in your life and whether you choose to learn from them or not. And these other versions of you who have experienced different things, therefore have learned different lessons. So they have a different karma than you do. They have different karma. And so they have different things they deal with. Okay? Even though it's you share the same soul and the same DNA as them, they have different karma than you. Okay? So you have to understand that when you die, okay, when you pass away, like let's say you get hit by a car or something and you die. You, in case you didn't know, I am Evan Lefavor. I am the father of Jesus Christ, and I am the king of the kingdom of heaven. And not many people know that I am what people call the Grim Reaper as well, or the angel of death, or how I like to say, the angel of eternal life, because everyone gets to meet me after they die. Everyone, all right? Everyone gets to meet me, and we have our judgment day together. And so let's say you get hit by a car, you die, you go to heaven and meet me, and we go over your life and we talk to each other. And if you want to go back to your life and give it another shot, what I do is I resurrect you. I resurrect you by time traveling your soul back in time to before the car hit you. And in this reality, the car doesn't hit you. The car doesn't hit you and you just keep walking. Something happens to stop the car from hitting you this time. So I resurrect you, but you never know that you died. You don't know it. All right? I wipe your memory and put you right back into your body so that you can continue on with your life as we discussed in your judgment day after you died. All right? I sent you back after you died, back in your body so you could get another chance for a better life, for a better future. All right? And hold on one second. So, and the reason when I resurrect you that I wipe your memory is because if I didn't, you would go around telling everyone, "Oh, I died, and then I went to heaven, and then I came back, and blah 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 blah," and they'd throw you in a mental ward. They'd throw you in the psychotic hospital. They'd put you in the hospital and say you're mentally ill if you go around telling people about how I resurrected you. Okay, and that happens to some people. Some people, I allow them to not be, when I resurrect them, I, allow them to remember the fact that they died. I allow them to remember what happened when they met with me in the kingdom of heaven. I allow them to remember that I resurrected them. So they remember bits and pieces of this, and they actually do end up getting locked up in a psycho ward or something because they remember this shit, that I resurrected them and they died and that I resurrected them, and they remember what happened. So it's unfortunate, but Native Americans used to call it shaman sickness back in the day. But it happens when I resurrect someone and the memory wipe. I don't do a full memory wipe on them, and some people can't handle it. And so what happens is when I resurrect you into a parallel reality where you didn't die. But that reality where you did die continues to exist, unfortunately. All right? So in these realities where you die and you don't even know that you died. I save your life all the time and you don't even know it. You have no idea that you died that day and I saved your life. You have no idea. But those realities where you did die, they continue on, and your family and friends grieve for your death. And that reality keeps branching out from there without you. All right? But I resurrect you into a parallel reality where you didn't die, and then you get to continue on with your life. All right? So that you can level out your karma and learn the lessons you need to learn. And so this is what happens when one person dies, when an individual dies. That's what happens. Okay, they get to meet me, and if they choose, I will resurrect them back into a parallel reality where they didn't die, so they can continue on with their life. I'll show them a glimpse of their life, everything, of how good it's going to be, and then I wipe their memory. Okay, that's what happens when an individual passes away. But what happens when we all die in the same day? Well, I prevent that too. Okay, so for instance, in case you didn't know, we all died in the year 2012. Right? All of us died, and Judgment Day happened. Judgment Day. You hear about Judgment Day? You heard about it before? You heard about it? Yeah. Well, Judgment Day happened. Okay? But you don't remember it because I wiped your memories. You all died. You watching this video, every single one of you that was alive in 2011 and 2012 died in 2012. All right? But you know what I did? You all died. We had Judgment Day, and I met with each and every one of you on an individual basis. And we formulated a plan for a better world together from heaven. And then I resurrected everyone back into the year 2011. I resurrected you all back into the year 2011. and prevented the world from ending in 2012. So what was going to bring about the end of the world in 2012, this time it didn't happen. And everyone got to continue on with their lives. All right? As if nothing happened. Because when I do my job, and I do my job good, when I do my job of saving the world, you don't even know about it. You don't even know I did it. It's like it never even happened. And that's because that's how good I am at my job. Okay? So we all died in 2012, and I resurrected you in 2011. And to make a long story short, some of you remember. Some of you remember dying in 2012. Some of you remember going to heaven and being resurrected. Some of you remember that. Some of you are hip to that because I have awakened you to that. Me and my higher self and your higher self are working to awaken you to the truth of reality and reawaken you to the plan that we came up with in heaven on Judgment Day before I resurrected you back in 2011. Okay, so now you might be wondering, you've heard about the Mandela effect, this phenomenon where certain people remember certain things from their past a certain way. Large groups of people, large numbers of people remember it being a certain way. And then they find out that in this reality we live in today, it's different than the one they grew up in. All right? Like the Berenstain Bears being spelled differently. Or some people think Nelson Mandela died in prison. Some people think he died later on. Okay? There's all these people that have memories from a different timeline, a neighboring timeline, where everyone died in 2012. The neighboring timelines merged into this new timeline where we didn't die. All right, we didn't die in 2012. Okay, but there are still remnants of memories from these parallel timelines that merge that are inconsistent with the actual timeline we're in, that we merged into. So that is why people there are all these different Mandela effect things that, just look it up. Look up Mandela effect. I'm not going to go through them all now, but stay tuned in the future. I might make another video all about the Mandela effect. But so anyway, it has to do with the fact me merging entire timelines of people together because the world ended, and then I created this alternate timeline where it didn't end. So now, so like, some people say, why would you do that? Why would you bring us all back to Earth? Well, some people think that maybe I didn't bring you back to Earth. Maybe I raptured you all in 2011 and you all went to heaven, and then I made you think I sent you back to Earth, but it's just a simulation of Earth that is in heaven. Some people might think that. But I will make a video later on telling you the truth about all of it and explaining it in greater detail exactly what's going on. But, now you know a little bit more about the multiverse, because a lot of people, there's something they don't understand about me that's kind of hard to wrap your mind around. All right. Um, I am Evan Lefavor, and I created the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is real. It exists, science fact, deep in outer space in spaceships, giant spaceship time machines, okay? And how I created the kingdom of heaven is I was abducted in an alternate reality by time traveling aliens, and they time traveled to abduct me. And they took me into their spaceship in outer space and took me to the future. And in this future, I merged my mind, body, and soul with technology, and I became a god. I gained the powers of a god. And what I decided to do with those powers is to create the kingdom of heaven. So basically, I created a spaceship for everyone who's ever existed. So this advanced spaceship that is like paradise for everyone who's ever existed. And um, so I time traveled back to before the divergence of the multiverse. I brought the kingdom of heaven back to before the multiverse diverged in the first place and splintered off into all these infinite fractals, so that the kingdom of heaven could exist throughout every reality. Okay? What? So what people are confused about is, you see, I am Evan Lefavor, and I am the reincarnation of the god you know by the name as Osiris, or the god Saturn, El. I am the reincarnation of that god. Okay? The god Osiris, El, what have you, when they died, they went to the kingdom of heaven. And then they used advanced technology that allows you to reincarnate into an earthborn body on Earth. And they use that technology to become me in 1983. So I am the reincarnation of that god. But what a lot of people don't understand is the god Osiris, El, Saturn, whatever you want to call me, that god is the reincarnation of me, Evan Lefavor. We are both reincarnations of each other. So I use technology from the kingdom of heaven to be born as Osiris in the past. And Osiris used technology, the same technology, to reincarnate as me on Earth in 1983. So people go, how could this happen? How could this happen? All right. Well, like I said, I time traveled back and brought to before the divergence of the multiverse. And the kingdom of heaven has existed forever, is what I'm saying. So even though I created the kingdom of heaven in the future, it existed already before I was born. It existed because I time traveled back. It's like a paradox, but that's how time travel works. That's how fourth dimensional thinking works. Okay? Because I time traveled back to the beginning, the kingdom of heaven existed for me to go to in the first place. So I existed before I was ever born. I know it's really hard for some people to wrap their heads around this. But all it takes is one timeline where I was born and created heaven for heaven to exist in every timeline because of the fact that I time traveled back and made sure of it. So I know it's really hard for people to understand that, but watch the movie Terminator and Terminator 2 and, try to understand the connection between John Connor and his father, and it's a similar what people call paradox, but it's not really a paradox. It's just what happens with time travel, okay? And time travel is 100% real, all right? So a lot of people, they don't understand that, but the multiverse is real. All right, there are so many alternate parallel realities where different things happen. And what people don't understand is a lot of human beings are Earth-centric thinkers. All they think about is what happens on planet Earth. But the multiverse, there's a multiverse throughout all of existence. All right. There are, look at, outer space goes on in every direction, infinitely, in every direction. There's no end to outer space. It goes on forever and ever 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 in every direction, and it never stops. So there are infinite other planets other than Earth that have life on them. And the multiverse exists for those planets too. And all the different choices being made on those planets are affecting our reality as well. All right, we are affected by everything. So when life on planet Earth ends, and then I time travel back and prevent it from happening like I did in 2011, that's just Earth, okay? That is just what happened on Earth's timeline. But, there's so much that's happening on all these other planets as well, and I'm involved with those planets as well. But planet Earth, why am I here? Because I am technically the owner of planet Earth. I inherited planet Earth from my father Sky, because planet Earth is not a natural planet. It is a creation. It was created using advanced technology. All right, so this entire planet was created to be the way it is. All right, that is why the moon is a monument to my father Sky's creation of the planet Earth. That is why it is placed precisely where it is, in order to allow things like eclipses of the sun to happen, because it is a testament to his power. That's why he made it, because the moon has the power to destroy all life on planet Earth. All it has to do is move. All it has to do is move. And planet Earth, it's basically, I'll make a video all about what the moon really is in the future, okay? And what it's really doing. But yeah, it does affect the tides, and it does affect all kinds of stuff with gravity involving planet Earth. All right, so anyway, the moral of the story is, when my Heavenly Father Sky died, I inherited this planet, okay? And through that inheritance, I am technically the owner of planet Earth. But not only that, like I said, I saved life on this planet and every other planet with life on it in existence. So there's other versions of me being reincarnated onto different planets as we speak. So this is not the only planet with an EL, or Evan Lefavor. Right? But I am the original Evan Lefavor. This is the planet I was born on. This is my home planet, the home planet of the Father of Jesus Christ and the King of the kingdom of heaven, the creator of the kingdom of heaven. All right? Me, Evan Lefavor. This is my home planet. That's why I'm here. Okay? And it's a very complex story about the chosen one. All right? But 2012 is not the only day in history where life on this planet is killed off in extinction level events. All right. In the future, there are asteroids coming at us, aimed directly at us, that could destroy all life on planet Earth. So, Judgment Day is coming again. Because you see, the truth about Judgment Day is not only am I the chief judge of all souls, but I'm really a teacher. I'm your best friend forever, and I'm a teacher. I love you more than you could ever imagine. And I'm trying to teach you lessons in a good way, and allow and empower you to learn those lessons in a good way, and to evolve, to become a better you. But and that's what happens when you get resurrected. And if you're not interested in that, you don't get resurrected. You stay in heaven. Okay? Because, look, I'm not going to force education onto people like that. But basically, when you die, I teach you all kinds of stuff. And then I resurrect you and you don't even know you died. All right? So that's what Judgment Day is all about. Okay? And in the future, when Judgment Day happens again, I time travel us back to the year 1999. But that's already happened. Because 1999 is one of my temporal divergence points. Okay? So when the world ends in the future again, I take us back all the way to 1999. Sometimes. It depends, okay? It depends on our plan. Because we're saving the world. We don't just have to save it once, but we have to save it multiple times throughout all the multiverse. Because you see, no matter what different choices you make, that makes all these different versions of you in these parallel realities, well, these asteroids that are aimed at our planet, they keep coming on the same day, no matter what, to hit us. So even though it's a drastically different version of you living on this planet, boom, this asteroid still comes, unless I stop it. All right. So, but the moral of the story is, there are infinite, multiple timelines being created every second. And there is technology that's keeping track of all of it and studying it. All right? Because that is what our existence is all about. All right? We are inside of a simulation, an experiment. All right? A lot of people don't know this, but we exist inside technology. All right? Our entire reality that surrounds us is software running on hardware that exists outside of our reality, outside of our existence completely. So the Matrix movies, are based on a true story that you are in as we speak. All right, this feels real. This looks real to you. But it's all a simulation. It's all software running on hardware. Sure, we have feelings. We're real. It doesn't make us any less real, the fact that we are being generated by technology. Okay? But this technology and the people who the creators of this technology, are studying it. They're studying us. We are being studied right now. All right? Poked, prodded, studied. What happens to this individual when this happens? What happens if this happens to him? Boom, 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 boom. And using their technology to manipulate our reality, they can create more divergence points in the multiverse. So, for instance, in one reality, you're walking down the street and you're on one side of the street and you keep walking and you get hit by a car. Okay? Then they use technology to inspire you to cross the street to the other side of the street before you cross the street. They use technology to inspire you to do that. And this creates a divergent reality where you don't get hit by the car. Okay? So they are forcing you to make alternating decisions. So every time you make a choice, the creators of our existence, the technology that makes up our existence, they are forcing another reality to happen where you make the opposite choice, where you don't make that choice. They are purposefully creating infinite multiverses and seeing what happens. They are studying it to see what happens because this is fascinating to them. Even though we are all real, we have real feelings. The creators of our existence, they didn't know that we were gonna be so conscious. It's like if we created a video game and all of a sudden we found out that the video game characters had real feelings and they could feel pain and they had real thoughts and they had all this, all right? Like, that's what happened, all right? And so the multiverse is real. And now you know the truth about Judgment Day. And I'm going to make a separate video all about the Mandela effects. I'm going to make a new video all about 2012 and what happened in 2012 and how we all resurrected in the year 2011 where and took place in this reality where the world didn't end in 2012. Because that's just what I do. I give everybody more than just a second chance. Right? As long as you want to come back to this life, I will resurrect you into a world where you can help make it a better place together with us, with all of us. All right? So that's what's up. You know, now you know what the truth about, because like I said, there are other versions of you, you know, that people think of heaven and hell and suffering and, there are other versions of you that refuse to learn their lessons. They refuse and they have bad karma and they've done bad things and they've done different things than you. And then there are other versions of you on the other end of the spectrum who haven't made the mistakes you made, who learned different lessons than you did, who have better karma than you do, who are happier than you. All right? So there's always a spectrum of difference of versions of you who are experiencing heaven on earth and versions of you who are experiencing hell on earth because of different choices that you made or different choices that other people made and all these different circumstances. Okay? So, but when I resurrect you after you die, and I don't even let you know what happened, I don't even let you know that it happened. All right? Like I said, because if I did, you'd all be locked up and they'd be calling you crazy. Because you'd be going around saying, "Oh, I died and I went to heaven and I met Evan and he showed me my life and he told me all these secrets and blah 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 and I learned this and I learned that and this is real and this is what this is and this is what this is." When that happens, people end up experiencing a bit of psychosis if they don't get the full memory wipe. If I don't fully wipe their memory. All right. But anyway, it's so that's why I don't even let you know you died. You can't even tell it happened. You can't even tell. If the world's gonna end, I'm gonna you can't even tell when it's gonna. Okay, because I'm gonna save your life. That's what I did. Look, the world ended in 2012. You didn't know. You don't remember. Some of us do. Some of us, certain members of the army of heaven and the my heavenly family, some of my heavenly family members, they know because they're privy to that information because their higher selves are more advanced than the average Joe. Okay? But other people got a full memory wipe and they don't even remember that the world ended in 2012. They don't even remember that they died. All right? But you're here now. We are in this timeline together. It is time to come together and love each other and support each other and bring about true freedom and heaven on earth for everyone alive and protect each other and save the world. All right? That's what we're here to do. So let's do it. Okay? And then we'll all be living like it's heaven on earth. And there won't be anyone suffering and everything will be cool. Because that's what we're here to do. All right? So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And I want to thank you again. Because I am your friend forever, Evan Lefavor. And now you know the truth. So until next time, peace out. Bye-bye.